you should know by now, this is the bark. This brown color you see here is the bark. All of this is secondary xylem. Secondary xylem becomes wood. Primary xylem is right at the somewhere here. All of this is secondary xylem. Somehow your textbook mentioned primary xylem become wood, xylem becomes wood. Secondary xylem become a stronger wood. If this plant grows in area with 4 seasons, if the plant grows in area with 4 seasons, what is the 4 season is shown in this drawing here. To save time, I'll just fast forward the video. It's actually just to show you the 4 seasons that we have. To save time, I'm speeding up the video lah. Okay, now this is the 4 season. We have winter, temperature low, light intensity low. Temperature low, light intensity low, cannot grow. Primary also don't have, secondary also don't have. Spring and summer is where the growth occurs. But most students will have impression, not student. Generally, many people will have impression. Summer is the best time to grow because when you think of summer, you think of light, you think of higher temperature. But for the plant, the best time to grow is spring. Optimum temperature, optimum light intensity is spring. So the rate of growth in spring is higher. In summer, lower. Both grow. But in spring, the rate of growth is higher. That is why in many, traditionally, maybe for Malaysia, we don't have that. But if you live in areas with 4 seasons, traditionally, New Year begins at the start of the spring. It's not on the 1st of January. 1st of January, is just one date, insignificant date. Just happens to be the whole world celebrate 1st of January as New Year. The true new life begins traditionally in many countries that have 4 seasons. They celebrate New Year on the first day of spring. New beginning because winter just finished. New growth. A new year is starting. That's the true new year by right. But we don't experience that because for us, anytime is same. Every time is raining, every time is sunlight. We don't have 4 seasons. People in area with 4 seasons, spring is where new cycle begins. So spring, higher rate of growth. Summer, lower rate of growth. In autumn, they're preparing for winter. So in autumn, the leaf starts to fall down. Because in winter, they can't do photosynthesis. It's snowing. If they have large leaf, then the tree become too heavy. So the leaf starts to fall off. We call that autumn. Beautiful season. So these are the 4 seasons. The thing here is, in spring, rate of growth higher. In summer, rate of growth lower. Someone just drew this diagram. Beautiful diagram. Not diagram, sorry, beautiful picture. That person just scribble and then can create such a beautiful one. These are the 4 seasons. We have autumn. Personally, I like autumn because beautiful. I consider autumn as beautiful. We have winter, we have spring, we have summer. These are the 4 seasons. Normally, I'll ask the students, what is your favorite season and why? So from here, now we go to annual ring. The concept is easy. The main point is secondary growth and also primary growth. The rate is higher in spring because spring have optimal temperature, optimal light intensity. In summer, the rate of secondary growth is lower. That's the main understanding you need to have. In spring, the rate is higher. In summer, the rate is lower. In fall and winter, just take it as no growth, no secondary growth. Spring higher rate, summer lower rate. So under that, when the plant do these different rates of secondary growth, over the years, if you do a cross section of the stem, you can see what we call as annual rings. You can see these lines here. If I zoom in, You can see the lighter and darker, lighter and darker. This is what we call as annual ring. By right, this is the bark. This is the bark. All of these are the annual rings. The annual ring has two lines, the darker line and also the darker ring and also the lighter ring. What we need to explain is what is the dark ring, what is the light ring. That's what we need to explain. It's related to secondary growth. If you like this cross section of the stem, you can go to Shopee and buy. This is actually a carpet. Actually, it's a carpet. It's not the actual plant. The carpet, because annual rings always look beautiful, so they have created a carpet that has the pattern. So I was looking for a nice picture to show you what is secondary growth. I came across this picture. If I didn't tell you it's a carpet, you won't know also, but this is a carpet, shows us how an annual ring looks like. This is a video I got online. Why we like this annual growth. The pattern is beautiful. So this guy, cut a stem, apply some paint, and then copy into a paper, and this is the pattern you get. Annual rings are always, beautiful. You can see. So that lines that you see are produced in spring and also summer. That's what we need to explain now. These balloons, by right, if you have watched the movie Up, you should know these balloons are related to what. At the moment, let's say we have two balloons, a smaller one and a larger one. Which balloon, based on this picture, which balloon has thinner membrane? Obviously, the large one. And if I ask you the reason why, you're going to tell me it's being stretched more. Because it's larger, it is being stretched more, the wall is thinner, the membrane is thinner. Same concept for this annual ring. We start with secondary xylem. But the secondary xylem that is formed in spring and summer, the size is different. The one formed in spring, because the growth rate is higher in spring, they form larger cell in spring. It's like the larger balloon. The one they form in summer is the smaller one. And I already mentioned earlier, example is the balloon earlier. You told me, if it's larger, the membrane is thinner. Same thing here. Because the spring, the cell secondary xylem form is larger, the wall is thinner. And you can see, because the wall is thinner, they are lighter color. If the wall is thicker, they are darker color. So because the wall is thinner, they form the ring that is lighter color. The lighter color ring consists of secondary xylem that forms in spring. In summer, growth rate is lower. The cell is smaller. The wall is thicker. Because the wall is thicker, the ring that forms is darker color. You can explain this. This is your answer for annual rings. This is the answer. You can add in one more sentence. In fall, in winter, no secondary growth, no rings form. There is no annual ring form in winter and fall because no secondary growth. The rate of secondary growth in spring is higher than summer. That means the secondary xylem formed in spring is larger. In summer is smaller. And you write all of this, you can get your 5 marks for annual rings. So that means the annual rings will look like this. What forms in spring? The lighter one, because the cells are larger, the wall is thinner. Spring. In summer, the ring is darker color. Smaller cells, thicker cell wall, darker ring. In fall, in winter, no secondary growth, no ring, no annual ring. The next year, in spring, they form again. In summer, they form again. So every year, you will have one lighter ring and one darker ring. So every two rings represents 1 year of growth. We ask in exam. There is question in the textbook itself. They give, this is how the actual plant looks like. For Malaysia, you cut the stem, you don't see these rings. We don't have the 4 seasons. Most to most, we have dry season, rainy season, sometimes a durian season, exam season onwards, but generally rainy season, dry season. So we don't actually get the ring. Area with 4 seasons, you can see the ring. Botanists. Botanists are plant expert. Botanists. Botanists to estimate the age of the tree. So you can actually count the age of the tree by counting the number of rings. Like for example, this tree, they have counted the age. It's almost like 100 years old, this tree. By counting the number of rings, you can estimate the age of the tree. In actual exam, they ask you to do that. Like this is a trial paper question. Based on diagram 2 to estimate the age of the tree. By right, you should know this area is the bark. By right, by counting, you don't have to, you just count the black lines. You count the black lines, you can know the age of the tree. Start from inside. So let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means the age of this tree is 10 years old. Trial paper, even your textbook also have this question. They give the picture, they ask you what's the age. Just count the dark line. How many dark lines? That is the age of the tree. Annual growth done. Okay, this is just some pictures I might have already shown you last week. There are many huge trees in the world. Like this is a tree that was cut down like maybe 80, 90 years ago. They took the picture before they cut down the tree. Huge tree. You can see some humans at the bottom here. So the tree was cut down. The remains of the tree is still there. If you visit this place, you can stand on top of this tree and take photo. One slice of the stem is still kept in the museum. And if you see the cross section, the tree started its life in 550. And they cut down the tree around 1891, I think. So at the time they cut the tree, the age of the tree is like around 1,500 years old. That's how large the tree is. The tree was even older than like if you're a Muslim, like Nabi Muhammad was born 570. So this tree is even older than Nabi Muhammad also. Most of the events here you don't recognize because all of this is related to America. This tree is America, but just to show you, we can estimate the age of the tree by counting the number of annual rings. That tree is found in California redwood forest. If you like nature, like for me, my bucket list, meaning bucket list means things that you want to do during your life. This is one place I want to visit once in my lifetime. I want to go and see all of these huge trees. Depends. People like nature, normally they like to go to this place. Here you can find huge trees. Redwood forest is full of huge trees. The tallest tree, this is not in the syllabus. I'm just going out of syllabus a bit. The tallest tree in the world, the name given to the tree is Hyperion. And this is how the tree looks like. The tallest tree in the world is more than 100-meter tall. The largest tree in the world at the moment is this tree we call General Sherman. Just showing you general knowledge. This is not in the syllabus. Just showing you. All the largest tree in the world, they have a nickname. Like we have Hyperion, we have General Sherman. Another tree here is the President. This is the president, one of the largest trees in the world. And just to give you an idea how large this tree is, right at the bottom of the tree, you can see a human standing. Right at the bottom of the tree. And right at the top of the tree, there's another human there. This orange color shirt is another human. You can't take a single picture to show you the whole tree. You can just see how small is the human compared to the tree. Many pictures were taken, like almost 100 pictures were taken. They combine it into one picture. Only then we can show you how large the tree is. Huge tree. Okay, we are done with annual rings. If I go to the notes, you can see the information here. In our syllabus, temperate climate means 4 seasons. Secondary growth, different rate according to season. Spring, enough water, enough sunlight. Secondary xylem, bigger, wall is thinner. It's brighter in color. That's why they form the brighter ring. Secondary xylem, smaller, thicker wall in summer because the rate of growth is lower. Xylem tissue form is darker color. No secondary growth in fall and autumn. There's nothing hard in this question. There's nothing hard in this explanation. Just remember the larger balloon and the smaller balloon, and you can get your 5 marks plus minus. Have come out in exam. In trial, actual exam haven't come out yet. Secondary growth done.